Hello, everybody, and welcome back for more Age of Strife.
Yeah.
The party rests at the Golden Life for a night. You guys just going to stay in the big common flophouse room, or do you want, your own rooms? There's a significant price difference, which I am looking up. Where's it hiding? The flop house is 1 silver per night, and your own room is 5 silver per night. So you can stay in the big flop house, or you can just hang out by your shop.
I will choose the flop house.
All
Me
right.
too.
Yeah, we'll flop it up.
Okay.
How much is it?
1 silver for the night.
Okay.
At these rates. I want to take some time to listen around in the flop house at maybe some of the other travelers' conversations. Or comings and goings, keeping my eyes open for shiny things.
We
stuff
can get a
like
beer and kind of sit, or an ale, I should say, and sit down in the common room downstairs, right? And
Okay.
hang out for a little while.
Tilly,
Dry off.
as you're listening around, you start hearing about how the hill tribes to the southwest of Isquart have been raiding it again, and the city seems to be occasionally getting sacked, or not fully sacked, but hill tribes have been coming out into the town of Isquart and raiding it. Meanwhile, Theobald, as you kind of like find a spot and you're trying to pick up what news you can, you hear a bunch of people talking about Baron Oakenshield's daughter's wedding. It sounds like an extravagant sort of thing. And curiously enough, you don't pick up who she is marrying. It seems to be a question of sorts. Yeah.
Okay.
And Aldous, you're hanging out with Theo, so you hear the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but you all settle down for the night. You already had some food at the last shop, so you don't need to buy any more food. And unless there's anything you want to do before you go to bed, you go to bed.
Nope.
Nope.
That's fun.
You pass out and wake up the next morning.
Is it raining?
The rain has stopped finally.
Yay.
Oh.
But the town is still busy. People are putting about now that the rain is gone. Probably busier than normal. The air is clear and fresh, if a little bit cold and crisp. The town is packed with people moving to and fro. Although you do notice wherever you walk, people cast a suspicious glance at you. Probably because of the weapons and armor you have on. Yeah.
Okay. I am going to look around town for seedy characters that I can thieves can with to ask about the Thieves Guild.
Alright, so you guys make your way towards the east of town generally. And as you see people, you start dropping a little bit of thieves' cant here and there, slipping in a few words that mean something to people who are paying attention. And eventually you say something to a guy who perks up and replies with, like, you give some sort of like common greeting in the thieves' cant, and he gives it back to you appropriately.
Ah, pleasure to meet a friend here. Hello.
Yes, it's always nice to have an ally at your side.
Indeed.
My name is Richter.
I'm Aldous. It's a pleasure.
And these tall people with you, this guy's also a halfling, I should say. Very, very uncommon to see another halfling in the world. Out and about.
Don't worry, Theobald here's my friend. And of course, Tilly is my companion as well.
I put out my hand and say, "Nice to meet you. I am Tilly."
Nice to meet you all. So you're the most soft-spoken, shortest-speaking gnome I've ever met, I would have to say. No offense to your people, but normally you guys just talk at length. Are you half gnome?
I raise my hand. I don't really know many of my own people very well, so maybe That's why.
So, what you guys doing in town? You looking to make some trade, which is would be like the thieves' can't way of saying you're looking for a job.
Fence.
Yeah.
Actually, yes. I've heard that there's a guild of sorts here in this lovely town, and I was trying to get connected.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but things are a little bit rough on the eastern side.
I think that's what I'm referring to.
Hmm.
Can you maybe divulge some information? And I flick a silver into the air, with my thumb, and it lands hopefully in his hand.
He catches it and just kind of drops it in his pocket very nonchalantly. And says, "Yeah, I know a nice place where we can hang out and chat if that's what you're looking for." And he leads
Aye.
you through the streets towards the east side of town. Eastern side of town gets a little bit rough. The buildings stop being two-story buildings and start becoming kind of shacks and hovels. Some of them look kind of collapsed. Others have just the medieval equivalent of corrugated roofs that are just kind of like thrown together, and there's holes in them, and someone like tosses something up there to put it on. So there's like sheets of leather or cloth that sometimes like patch up little holes in buildings. The roads get less clear and straight. It just becomes like a smattering of houses. It looks kind of like the slums of town. But you are eventually brought into the Fire Breath Tavern, or the Fire Breath Bar. Not sure which one it is yet, depending on whether they serve food or not. And it is a dark place. It's buried about half underground, so you have to go down some steps. The only windows are at floor level, and some of them are boarded up, so not a lot of light streams through. There's no source of fire inside, and everyone's kind of talking in hushed whispers to one another.
How many people are inside?
There are 10 people inside, not counting the bartender and the serving wenches. All human except for the three of you. Well, 3 of the 4 of you.
Okay. Yeah, so let's just grab an empty table, I guess.
Yeah, he follows you guys to an empty table and sits down and points to the guy behind the bar and says, "That guy is Marsh. You need something, Marsh is your man." Now, I don't think I have to tell you that what happens here stays here. We look after each other and ourselves. You don't look after us, we don't look after you.
Of course.
Say no more.
Understood. Does he still sit there with us, or does he leave us?
He sits there with you and sips on a drink. One of the serving girls comes over and takes your orders, brings around some ale. You all chip in a few 4 copper each for the drinks. And the guy says, "So what kind of adventure are you looking for around here?"
I say, perhaps the wedding sort? What do you know of the wedding to the west? Maybe perhaps you would want to tell us that. And I smile at him.
Well, everyone knows that Baron Oakenshield's daughter is getting married in Themir. What few people seem to know is who she's marrying.
Do you happen to know who?
Maybe. I don't know. Rumors. Information like that is hard to come by. Some might call it valuable.
Maybe perhaps you could tell us how valuable.
He pauses and orders, waves over another serving girl to get himself another drink. And as she departs, he says, "Well, maybe I could give you a little of information for a favor. Money's only worth something if you got a way to spend it. Some things can't be bought with money."
Fair enough.
How do we know that what you're telling us is correct? How can we maybe possibly know. You seem nice and cordial, but maybe we don't know who you are exactly or how reliable your information is, perhaps, maybe.
Tell me, Tilly, when was the last time you had a sure thing?
I ate some pie in the town, and it was delicious. That was probably the last thing, maybe, that I knew I had coming to me, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of out and up in the air, except for pie. Pie seems pretty concrete and consistent.
Well, life's a lot like that. You gotta judge a man by his character and by his word.
You are right, though. This is an age of strife.
Couldn't put it better myself. So, you interested in a little wet work?
I look at Alvis, and
I nod.
Yeah.
All right.
Before you say anything, though, we are good people. We're not going to do something that could lose us a hand or our heads.
He immediately sits back and goes, I think you're in the wrong part of town.
No. Hold on. We are skilled. We are just very careful with the jobs we take. But we know what we're doing. Don't worry.
Any job you're going to get
we're
here
not-
could lose you a hand or a head.
Well, we're not going to kill someone or steal from a shop in broad daylight. Let's put it that way.
I think you're in the wrong part of town, he says, and starts to push himself a little bit further away from you guys.
Hold on. Don't be so hasty. My companions are different than I. They are willing to do things I'm not. I just have more of a conscience and more of a moral compass that guides me than they.
I say, my friend here maybe perhaps thinks that if he does things in a moral way, that it'll be less hurtful to him on a moral level, and that's how he justifies his.
I like to be able to
thieving.
sleep at night. I don't know.
I intend to borrow things. I never steal. I borrow for extended periods of time.
I kind of grumble and say, "Oh, what is it?"
Well, if it's the morality of the situation, I think you're going to be in the clear here.
That's fine.
Let's
Okay.
just say the person in question might not be the best person you've ever met before.
Well, that is what I specialize in.
Let's say
Ruining
they're a
any
known
bad-
murderer and a suspected thief.
And what would you have us do with this said murderer? Because I hate murderers.
What perhaps did he murder? Was it kittens or puppies?
Probably. But this guy, hold on. Need a name. The guy in question has been involved with the murder of Lord Newfield's son. Now, whether or not he's the man who did it himself or just involved remains to be seen. But I want you to bring him to me alive. If he's not alive, he's not talking, no deal.
Where's Lord Newfield from?
You would know, actually, that Lord Quinton Newfield is the man who runs this town. He is a Lord Knight, so a knight who's also a lord and ranked higher than your standard lords. And you would know not actually all that much about him. He tends to kind of keep to himself and tries not to get involved in greater politics.
And his son's
And
would I have
where-
known his son was murdered?
No, this is
Or
news
now?
to you.
Okay.
And whereabouts could we find him?
Well, he prefers to call home this place a little further to the south called the Dragon's Den. I would do this myself, but it's a dicey job.
Do Do they give away money for ideas at this place? This sounds intriguing.
Money for ideas? I don't think so, but well, if this is not if this isn't the place for you, this is the Dragon's Den is even less for you. All manner of
We'll
sins
do
happen
it.
there.
We'll do it. I exclaim, looking at my companions.
Well, what's payment if we bring this man to you?
Thought you wanted to know about the wedding. Baron Oakenshield, who his daughter's marrying.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's right.
But perhaps maybe
We can't eat with that information.
this is a little bit more involved than a simple piece of information. Maybe perhaps
Alright.
some other form of payment to compensate for the tough task at hand.
Let me put it to you this way. The information is worth it. There's a reason no one knows who Baron Oakenshield's daughter is marrying. Ask
Well,
anyone in town who she's marrying. All you're going to get is speculation.
Will you allow me a moment to convene with my companions here?
Yeah, I got to take a piss anyway. He gets up and stumbles away from the bar. Or from the table.
Well, I was a little concerned at first, but I don't mind bringing a murderer and thief to justice.
Yeah.
Even if it's seedy justice.
I mean, I think as long as we accept that these nobles and these lords and these knights are all just screwing each other over and killing each other and stealing from each other, as long as you're all morally cool with that, I'm totally cool with taking their shit, doing whatever it takes. But they're all a bunch of thieving, dirty liars.
Well, I've noticed that I've changed since I've been on the road, and I'm not the same person I was weeks ago in Astari. I've started taking more risks, and I just don't even know who I am anymore, but fuck it. Let's do it. I'm in.
Cue the montage of us breaking all sorts of laws.
Running about town.
shooting up heroin.
Especially all this is like just ripping off nuns and shit. And kids.
Scooby-Doo with like doors down the thoroughfare in different taverns that we're running between them. And like the guy's running and then we're running and then we're running after him, then he's running after us.
It's a regular Scooby-Doo.
All this is literally stealing candy from a baby. That's how far.
Okay. Yeah, so we're in.
You're in. Okay.
So we gotta head south?
Well, we're gonna tell
South
the
side
guy.
of town.
Yeah. So, but that's what he said to us, right? We were in south.
Yeah, he gives you
South-
directions to the Dragon's Den. And says, the man we're looking for, that you're looking for, it's a human. He's about yay tall, he says, gesturing to Theo. Broad shoulders, long, slender face, pointy chin. His name is Brendan.
Brandon?
Brendan.
Brendan.
That's who's
You
gonna give us the
know-
information about the son's killer, or that's
No,
who
that's
killed
who
him?
you're bringing to me.
Okay, got
I'm
it.
not sure if he's the killer or not. I just know he's involved.
So
Do you know where he lives,
We
or
have to-
do you only know where he hangs out?
If I knew where he lived, I wouldn't be asking you to do this for me.
So we need to bring him to you alive, is what you're saying?
Alive.
Okay.
Can we expect maybe perhaps possibly opposition?
Yeah, definitely.
Can we borrow anything we find along the way?
Hey,
Tomorrow.
what you do is your business. All right, all I care about is the man.
We gotta get paid. All right. Well, let's do this.
What up? I perhaps have a few more questions. Does he
Let's not
have
do
any
this.
sort of accent? Some other distinguishable trait, maybe perhaps to better identify him? It might be difficult with just a tall man with broad shoulders.
He ponders for a moment. It says,
A scar, maybe?
no scars. Well, part of this man's function is blending in with crowds. He doesn't, and he intentionally, I would expect, dresses and presents himself like any other person. But I know he hangs out at the Dragon's Den.
do you have maybe any contacts in the south that we could hook up with, so we could maybe find out who he is without having to maybe ask around, perhaps?
I don't know, but the innkeeper there is the sort of guy who would sell his mother for a copper. But if you
That's what we need.
grease the
That's
wheels,
quite cheap.
tell me about it. I bet if you would grease the wheels there a little bit, he can give you whatever information you want, but I wouldn't trust him. I mean, he'll sell Brendan out probably, but he'll also sell you out to him, so be careful.
Mm.
All of his horses.
I mean, the town, you guys are in this inn, but there's still the noise from outside filtering in, and there's a whole flock of cows and being driven past the tavern right now.
No doubt.
Do you hear that? It sounds like lunch.
Spot of beef, though.
Well, thank you for this job. We will be back as soon as we can. And I give him a big smile.
He gives you a smile as well, and gives you a pat on the head.
I look up not very far up, and say, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
You guys head out and follow the directions that this guy gave you, this halfling. And half an hour later, you find yourselves in front of the Dragon's Den. It is the most run-down shithole of a tavern. It's like the shallot of taverns. The front door is kind of like hanging on one hinge slightly. The roof has patches in it and actually has like a big wet piece of cloth that's held down with some rocks. It's like still dripping from last night's rain. It kind of smells like wet dog and stale farts inside the building. And as you walk in, like there's beer and blood stains and food stains everywhere. The tables are kind of held together, kind of shoddily, and they teeter. And behind the bar stands a very big, muscular man with an eye patch over one eye and a scar going across his face. You notice that even though he's standing behind the bar and it must be his place, he still has a long sword and wears chainmail. And he glares at you with his one good eye as you walk in and goes, "What do you want?"
What a friendly, nice place. Lovely. I'll take an ale.
3 copper. And he pours you an ale and slides it across the table to you.
Love what you've done with the place. Much the same, please. An ale.
Grunts does the same.
I lean in and whisper, and I say, maybe perhaps I would like to order some information. And I slide 3 silver pieces towards him.
I mean, by the time your hand is gone from the silver, he's already swiped it and dropped it behind the counter. Very quick, very stealthy-like. Because what are you looking for?
Maybe we're just, and I whisper this to him, looking for a gentleman by the name of Brennan, or is it Brendan? Brendan?
Brendan.
And he has broad shoulders,
It's no gentleman.
pointy, no gentleman. Is he in this room?
He gives you like a slight nod, and you give a glance over your shoulder. And in this room, there's like 4 or 5 other people about, but there's one guy who is sitting with his feet propped up on the table, looking almost like he's napping, kind of kicked back in his chair on the far side of the tavern.
And can you give us an address of where he might live?
Fuck you, I don't know where he lives.
Oh, come on. And I flick another silver his way.
Now, did he nod to this guy as this guy being Brandon? So when I see that, I kind of stroll over to Brandon and kind of sit at the table next to him.
Okay.
Kind of now I'm facing him.
All right, you go and sit down. You, Soma, you flip him the silver, and he catches it in the air and pockets it. Goes, I told you, I don't know where he lives.
Well, then I'd like at least enough ale to get drunk with for free. I just gave you a silver.
I didn't see any silver.
Oh, sod off. And I walk to the table.
Okay. Tilly?
I stay there with the bartender. And I order... does he have meat pie?
He gives you a look like, where do you think you are? When you ask about the meat pie.
Half the time, I am not quite so sure.
Don't order the meat pie, man. Not in this place. Horse pie.
I order an ale.
Okay, he gives you another one and charges you another 3 copper for it.
Okay. I
right.
sip my ale.
Back at the table, Theo and Aldous are hanging out, and you guys see this Brendan fellow at the table next to you. Who appears to be asleep, maybe. Giving a look up and down, you see that he is wearing heavy leather clothing that could function as leather armor. And his right side is presented to you, so you see a short sword dangling from that side of his body.
How many people are in the tavern currently besides him? Can I look around and...
Besides him, you guys, and the bartender, there are 4 more people.
At his table, or is he at a table by himself?
He's at a table by himself. The 2 of the other people are separate, and then there's a group of 2.
Oh my god, I have a good idea. Oh, Tilly, I just thought of something.
I'm actually not with you right now.
Shit.
You would have to come back to the bar.
Alright, I walk over to Tilly.
And?
Tilly, I have an idea. You might not like it. It depends on whether or not our friend here is a child fucker or not. So, why don't you seduce him and have him lead you to his home, and then Theobald and I will jump in, and the 50 feet of rope in my bag will be used to tie him up, and we'll bring our friend to interrogate him. But you have to kind of act like a slut.
I kind of stand up in the chair and I look confident and I wink at you and I go right over to his table.
All right. Theobald, you did not hear this conversation, but you see
Correct.
Tilly confidently walk over to this guy's table. What do you do when you get there? Do you sit? Do you stand?
I lean against the table and I say, "Well, hello."
One of his eyes opens up and he looks at you and goes, "What are you looking for?"
What maybe perhaps are you looking for?
A little shut-eye?
I sit at the
A
table.
little peace and quiet?
With Theobald.
Okay.
Perhaps some company on these lonely nights?
He opens his other eye, takes his feet off the table, and leans forward and goes, "What are you, a gnome?
Have you ever been with a gnome before?
Give me a charisma check."
Yucker!
Yuckers!
I drink my ale and I go, once you go gnome.
You never go home? Or you stay at home? Okay, charisma, shit. Ooh, 17?
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Not yet, I haven't. But if you're offering, I'm buying.
Oh, he thinks you're for sale.
This is somewhat perhaps maybe an exotic experience and will cost 5 silver.
Tilly is a hoe! At this point, I just obviously look at
You know what?
this.
Fuck it.
Drink.
I want to see how this works, if this works. And he stands up and actually, literally picks you up underneath his arm and starts to walk out the door.
All right, Theobald.
I just look at them as I'm carried off like...
Theobald, if you didn't notice, we have a little plan. Tilly is whoring herself out to where this despicable individual lives, so we can tie him up and interrogate him. Hope you don't mind, and then I run out to follow him.
As I'm being carried off, I smack his hands a bit and say, I say, don't put me down. Put me down.
He sets you down and gives you a chuckle and says, "Oh, all right, up front, I got it." Reaches into his pocket and pulls out 3 silver coins, digs around in another pocket until he pulls out like 20 copper coins, and just like hands it to you in a handful.
I bite it. Let's go.
He shrugs and leads you to his hovel. You proceed through the muddy, gross streets. Can I get a stealth check from Soma and Theobald?
Yep.
Please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up. Yeah! Woohoo! That's pretty good.
22 from Aldous, 22
Wow.
from Theo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so you guys trail them, 100 feet behind or so, like peering around corners, and they don't seem to notice you at all. But they go 600-700 feet away, kind of through the shanty town, through the alleyways, past plenty of barking dogs, through the muddy streets. You see people in tattered clothing, bailing shit out their windows just into the middle of the street. There's scrawny stray dogs all about. You see a person holding a rat and just like carrying the rat by the tail over to a fire where they like put it on a stick and just shove it over the fire. This looks like the slums of town. Things are loud and noisy and smelly and gross. And you pass like people, mothers beating their children, husbands beating their wives, like in the street publicly. And it's just kind of going on about you. You do not notice any of the city guard anywhere nearby. Anyway, you follow these people until this guy, Brendan, walks into another one of these small hovels that has like a flap of leather over the front door as an excuse for a door. And the two of them walk inside. Tilly, looking around this place, you see a bed made out of straw and kind of miscellaneous scraps of cloth with a couple of shitty pillows at the front and some threadbare blankets with one nice big comforter on it. You see a table that has a dagger sticking out of it through a piece of paper and a spilled, like a knocked over flagon of ale with kind of, just knocked over.
Very white seated.
Anything? It doesn't look like anything of value in here.
No.
What
You
is
look
the
like
floor?
your value is decreasing just by existing in this room.
Let's get it
And the
on.
fact that I'm a whore now.
Yeah,
what
there's
is
a moral value
what's the
that-
floor? What's the
that
floor
comes
made
back.
out of?
Dirt.
What, the dirt. Okay, and
It's
the
kind of
hovel
muddy
made
around the
out of, like,
edges.
muddy. Okay.
Get it on.
Okay. So and I'm walking now with him, right? We walk inside.
Yeah, you guys walk inside. Once you come in, he gestures toward the bed and starts to take off his shirt.
I say, wait a moment. Being with a gnome woman is not like being with a normal human lady person.
You got
Go lay on
parts
the
that
bed.
don't work.
Oh, I've got parts that work. I just need you to go lay on the bed while I maybe get a little more, perhaps, maybe
I
comfortable.
like a good show, he says, as he lays in bed and strips down to absolutely nothing. He's in his birthday suit, but he does like position his short sword next to the bed, carefully.
I reach into my... I assume I still have my possessions with me, right?
All your stuff is with you.
And I start to kind of move like this and unbutton my shirt a little bit. And I reach into my bag and pull out hemp rope. And I smile at him.
Oh my god.
Oh, 5 silver wasn't enough. You probably deserve a little bit more, but he puts his hands above his head and crosses them.
I slowly walk my way over, spinning the rope on my hand.
Have you cued the
I
porno
sort of-
music in the
I
background?
sort-
I
I
can't
sort
hear
of-
it yet.
I sort of trip a little bit while I'm heading over, but I regain my composure. And I walk over and I start to tie his arms to the bedpost.
There's no bedposts.
Oh, there's no bed. I
There's
start
no,
to
like,
tie-
he's like thrown
There's no
straw
bed.
on the ground.
Yeah.
I start to tie his arms together.
So, like, can we stream this? Is this allowed on Twitch?
Of course, this
Okay,
is allowed.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to double check.
Age
All right.
of something else.
Listen, these are hard ass times, man. A gnome's got to make a living.
Gnomes got to make a living. Okay.
That's just part of this world.
It's all part of the game.
Let me take a look at the character sheet to see what sort of skill check I want you to make for tying his hands together.
Oh.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Are we obviously just outside, like, listening to this? Like,
Yeah,
I would
you-
obviously, like, be like, hey, I don't know what you got into here, but, like, we have to take him alive. So what are we going to do here?
About this is the point where you're listening in when you hear him go, "Oh yeah, you deserve a few more," and you
Can we
tie
see
his
it?
hands up.
Can we see in it all?
Do you try and peek in? Is the question, because there's like a
No.
flap hanging down in front of the door. There's no. You'd actually have to like try and peer in. There's no windows or anything. It seems like there's one.
Did he
door.
crawl under? Could our little halfling kind of crawl under the tarp?
Probably. All right, so you tie his hands up good and tight, and at a certain point he starts like, "Hey, I can't feel my hands anymore."
I put my finger onto his lips like,
He starts licking your fingers.
I try not to cringe, but I accept it for a moment.
No gnomes.
And then I run my finger down his cheek, down his chest, down to his waistline, down to his legs, and begin
There-
to tie his feet.
Can we go to commercial break early?
Yeah. Do you need a few minutes?
I need a few minutes.
Yeah, oh man.
The visuals.
Hold on. And I go
chat.
down to his feet to tie them while looking back at him suggestively.
Hurry up and take it off already.
I remove my first garment as slow as I can.
You notice him kind of like waving his junk around towards you, kind of like trying to get the point across.
Helicopter.
Well, it's not called that back then, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yield.
I say,
Windmilling.
Windmilling.
I say, with gnomes, the anticipation is everything. I said, I have something special for you. And I go back to my pack, and I start fiddling around with some of the things, and I pull out a bell.
Bell, you gonna hang it on my neck like a cow? Hurry up.
I tell him if I ever get too rough to just find a way to ring this bell, and I set the bell on the floor in the room.
Okay. At this point, he sits up and
Is
tries to
any-
bring his arms around your neck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He actually grabs. He puts like his hands are tied, so he puts his arms around your neck and pulls you down onto the bed, and
Aw,
starts trying to make out with your face.
I am like when a dog starts licking you, how you're like, no, oh god, please, just okay, you're like trying to let it happen, but you don't want it to, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, this is so good. This is perhaps the best ever. I start just kind of gyrating my body, not really knowing what I'm doing.
You guys can step in anytime you want. You don't have to.
We know.
Here.
All right.
Oh!
He goes, we know.
He starts.
What?
Come on, get your clothes off. Hurry up already. I ain't got all day.
All right, so
You're giving me
Is he
blue
still-
balls here.
Is he still holding her while she's trying to get
You
undressed?
can't
Now-
see shit, man.
Oh, we can't see. We can't see.
now is he? He's laying on the bed, like so. He's facing up into the room.
You can't see any of this. You're still outside listening.
No, he can see the flap though, right? Like he can see the entrance from his
You're-
position on the bed.
You don't know.
Oh shit! All right.
You don't know what you're walking into there. All you hear is the sounds of Tilly and this man, and the guy, he's going,
Okay.
like breathing heavily, and
God damn.
You hear sloppy-
All this. Here's what you're gonna do. You need to act drunk, act all loud, stupid, and drunk, and you're gonna go stumbling into the tent, just looking for Tilly. Be stupid, drunk halfling looking for Tilly. and I
Okay.
will come in after you. But that's how you need to get in there.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, "Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt." And then we'll assess the situation once we know what's inside.
Okay, let's
Alright.
do it.
Aldous, as you walk in, his arms, like, still tied together, are over behind Tilly, and he is trying to, like, physically rip her clothes off of her. Which doesn't work, because, his hands are tied and he can't quite get the right angle, but he's struggling and
roll for that?
grunting.
Oh,
Aldous, you walk in,
serious?
you see this shit, you say something, and the guy immediately, like, jerks his head to the side and goes, "You little fucker! You get out of here before I run you through right now!"
I was at the pub. I'm looking for my wife, and it looks like she's right here. What? Tilly, are you fucking around with me again?
Stevie, it's not what it looks like.
And
And I tried to get out of his arms and try
Alright,
to.
I'm gonna
wiggle my way
start.
out.
I'm gonna start feigning vomiting. I'm gonna start dry heaving and pretending like I have to vomit, like right in the middle of this floor.
All right, I follow them in.
Okay.
This
When
is-
Theobald
I'm
walks
behind the
in,
fake vomit.
when Theobald walks in, the guy, tries to push Tilly off of him and gets to it, like, sitting and reaches with his hands tied together for a short sword and gets him in his hand and goes, "What are you guys doing here? Untie me! Untie me, you little halfling, or you little gnomish bitch!"
I take my whip and I fucking crack his ass with my whip as hard
Give
as
me
I
a
can.
roll to hit. I'll give you advantage for him
Are
being
you
tied up.
cracking the sword out of the way, or are you?
I'm just gonna. Actually, yeah. I'll aim. I'll aim for his tied hands and sword.
Okay. Give me a roll to hit.
Okay. 12.
12. You don't actually wrap around anything, but you do, like, whip him in the arm. Give me a damage roll for that.
Okay. Five.
Okay. He takes 5 damage.
He's butt ass naked with a sword.
Yeah.
Bed died.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess at this point, things are going to get confusing and complicated, so we're going to roll for initiative.
Okay.
Just so that way there's no question, no, like, interrupting and whatnot. So give me your initiative rolls.
Will
D20
do.
plus your stat.
Okay.
15 for me.
Oh yeah, I had advantage, didn't I?
Yeah, give me another D20 just to make sure you didn't.
Okay.
Just a flat D20. Yeah, okay. So that was the roll that you made. Tilly. Theo and Aldous. Okay, so Tilly, it is your turn. Do you want to do anything?
Yes. I would like to, if I have enough time, I would like to grab my bow and arrow and aim it at his crotch and tell him to drop the short sword.
Okay. You pick up your bow, notch an arrow in it, aim it at his junk, tell him to drop the short sword. And it is his turn. You can get a shot off because he doesn't drop his short sword and instead rolls over towards you to try and, like, stab you. So give me a roll to hit with advantage because he's tied up and laying down.
Damn, hold on. Do I want to let loose an arrow, though? Because we could end up killing him.
You pause, and in that pause, he gets his attack off on you,
That's good.
which is a hit. You take 7 damage as he slides his short sword into your gut.
Jesus!
He
Holy
looks
shit.
like he's out for blood. Theobald, your turn.
Yeah, so I notch an arrow as well. And I'm like, drop the sword or I drop you. We don't want to kill you.
Okay, he's got 2 bows pointed at him. He lets go of the sword, which is, like, still kind of sticking out of Tilly. And as he lets go, like, it drops and falls out of her.
Damn, it's fucked up.
And he just gives you guys a mean look. And I think we're going to break here. So we will see you guys for our last hour in just a few minutes, and let's hope that Tilly can get past this moment of her life.
Corn and pie.
And we look at the leather fold where the entrance is, and Darude's sitting there like, what the fuck? She's like drinking like a frappuccino, and
Yeah.
she's like, what? All right, see you guys in a minute.
See you guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Age of Strife. Or Age of Bondage. I don't know what you want to call it these days.
Meow.
Good.
Now, indeed.
Very good.
Oops, I tripped.
Tilly needs to set a safe word, I've decided for sure, for these encounters.
Oh, man.
So, you have this guy tied up. He drops his sword. You guys kick it away from him. He's standing there, naked as the day he was born, massive raging heart on in front of him. And Tilly has like this wound in her belly and is leaking blood.
I'm gonna whip him in his dick.
Oh my god!
That's a called shot. That's going to be kind of hard to hit. No advantage on it and a penalty of 2. Give me a roll.
Damn.
I'm doing it.
The
And I say,
dick snap.
this is for Tilly. So it's D20 minus. D20 minus. Oh, it's just +1 then. If it's minus 2. Okay. Oh wait, no. Hit bonus +5, so I'm +3.
Okay.
Here we go. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Dick snapped.
Oh my,
You give me a damage roll.
oh my god! You're gonna disfigure this
Just a
fucking
tip,
dude.
just
He's
a
gonna
tip.
be dickless.
5.
5. Okay, you leave a very long red slash kind of up and down the shaft that starts to bleed profusely, and he screams in agony and suffering. You're not sure whether it's physical or mental, but he is not digging it.
This is for Tilly. Now sit down on the bed, or I do it again.
I'm already lying down, you string of curses follows.
Okay.
Perhaps for
and with
Tilly,
that-
you could find a way to stop the bleeding.
I tell them I'll be right back, and I run out to go get that guy.
Being a slut isn't easy.
Yeah, so go get the guy at the bar and try to get some help for Tilly. I'll stay here and keep an eye.
All right, I'll go do that.
Okay, so you depart. The two of you stand around, and this guy goes, "What do you want with me? Who are you? What are you here for?"
No questions. Quiet. I pull my rapier out instead of my bow now that I'm right next to him in the room, too. So I got my rapier in play. Just want him to shut up.
I pull out my rapier as well, but I am bleeding. So I'm kind of like holding my stomach with my rapier.
You let me go. I can get you gold. Real gold.
I stay silent and just keep looking and have my knife pointed at him or his rapier.
Okay. He continues
la,
to...
la, can't hear you.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
All right. He offers riches, and you ignore him. Aldous, where are you going? You're headed back to get the other guy, right?
Yeah, so he's going back to the Fire Breath bar.
Yeah. You head back to there, and the guy that you had left earlier, the halfling, is standing around, just hanging out.
You come with me quickly, and I lead him to where we're holding.
He follows you through the smelly, dirty, gross, filthy city streets until you come back to this guy's hovel. And he walks in, and the guy on the ground who's been just giving you guys a mean look and whose things have wilted now, spots the halfling walking in and kind of spits to the side and says, "You backstabbing, traitorous bastard. The halfling gives a smile, like a broad smile, and goes, well, you guys already tied him up for me and stripped him naked. It's half my work done.
You're welcome.
Good. And he walks over and picks up the guy's short sword, turns it over his hand, sticks it in the ground, and turns back to you guys. And kind of like motions for you to gather close.
I'm bleeding.
I mean, you've like patched it up enough that it's not pouring blood anymore.
Okay.
And in a hushed whisper, he says, all right. Oakenshield's daughter is marrying the son of Maldus Ironworm. Which, for you guys, is big news. Maldus Ironworm is the king's brother, younger brother. And he is a duke. The Duke of Vermont is his full title. He kind of runs the western half of the kingdom. His brother runs the eastern half of the kingdom, and technically the western too, but the Duke of Vermont kind of keeps that together. And the Duke does have a son who is unmarried, but he's a little bit young. He's like 15. A marriage between the Duke's son and anybody should be huge news that everyone should be knowing about. So that this is a secret is kind of a big deal in and of itself, that they're keeping, like, that this marriage is supposed to be kind of secret. Nonetheless, everyone knows about the wedding with what's his name? Oakenshield's daughter. They just don't know the groom yet. So you can draw any conclusions you'd like from this, and you should probably discuss it amongst yourselves out of earshot of these fellows. But this is... You're not sure what you can do with this yet, but this is big news.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the information.
No problem. Now, if you don't mind me, I've got some work to do.
What are you going to do with this fellow? I've already tarnished his bits.
Well, let's just say I have some questions for him. That's all. And you guys don't need to be around for this, so thank you very much for your hard work, he says, extending a hand and taking each of yours in turn, giving you a nice, not rough, but like a very positive handshake. And kind of gives you a smile that doesn't feel comfortable. It's like so fake and plastered on that you can tell there's some sort of like evil, cunning something underneath it. But he hurries you out of the shack.
Okay.
All right.
They're still in there, and we're outside it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't trust that guy. One.
I am in a lot of pain. Perhaps we can talk about it at some form of healer's abode or tavern, please. Perhaps, maybe. I'm hurting a lot. Somebody help me.
Yeah, let's take her.
Theo, I reach out. Theo, help me.
Okay.
I kind of want to kill this halfling guy.
What?
I don't trust him. All right, fine.
I'm really hurt.
Fine. All right.
I would really like to not be in so much pain.
All right. Well,
Yeah, let's go help him. Help her.
All right. Always having to get her healed up.
Yeah, this is becoming a routine weekly thing now. Oh, got attacked by a wolf and mangled? Of course. Stabbed in the gut?
stabbed by
Sure.
a
Become a
pervert.
whore? Why not?
Hey, that was your own thing, man. You got him all riled up, tied him up, get all pervy on him.
Hey, it worked. Okay, so,
All right,
yeah, let's find some place, maybe ask around to find a healer's place or something to get maybe stitched up or something. I don't know.
So you head back to the Golden Life to, get yourself situated in a place where you're not going to get tetanus from just breathing the air. And ask around about a healer. The proprietor says that there's a surgeon in town that could come by and take a look at you, but that his rates are on the higher side, but he does good work.
Okay. Bring him on. Bring him
How high? I say.
I mean, how much is your life worth to you?
on. It's a really good point.
Well, that's maybe kind of a silly question. Anyone would pay any amount to save their life.
Yeah.
How much is he charging? That's what I want to know. Or will he take me for everything I'm worth?
No, he's not a greedy man, just a man who knows his own worth. I would expect to pay it no less than 10 silver.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be awaiting him in
Okay.
a lot of pain.
The innkeeper sends one of his boys out to go fetch the surgeon, and an hour later, the surgeon comes by, inspects your wounds, gives you oh dear, I'd ask where this came from, but I think I know better than to do such things. I can sew it up and clean it out. It's gonna hurt, and you're gonna need some bed rest, but I can do the best I can for you.
Yes, please. That would maybe be amazing.
Okay.
Thank you.
First up, coin. He looks at the three of you. 15 silver.
Maybe, perhaps it could. Maybe. All right, we'll pay 15. I throw out 15 of my own silver.
Okay.
Not
He
expecting.
takes one of them and hands it to Aldous and says, "Go get as much of the strongest drink as you can find. She's gonna not want to be conscious for this, or at least have the pain numbed."
Okay. I fetch it. I go
All right.
fetch it.
You come back with some, I don't know, something like Everclear. And Tilly, the surgeon like pours you a big thing and says, "This is gonna burn going down, but drink it all. It's gonna hurt a lot less than the stitches."
I attempt to drink it all down.
You get blackout drunk very quickly,
Oh.
and as you're just kind of like,
you're cute, and I just want to say right now, you are. You guys have never had friends before, and now I feel like.
Remember your safe
pie
word,
I
Tilly.
smell? Is that pie? Is there pie here?
Oh, there's no. I wish there was pie here too.
I think you're smelling your wounds.
I think you guys
Dead
are.
pie.
You guys aren't pie.
Oh,
at this
shit.
point, the surgeon opens up his little tackle box that he brings with him, and you see all manner of like needles and hooks and strings and bandages and stuff. And he takes some of the Everclear and just like pours it in Tilly's wound. Told you it was gonna hurt. And then takes a hook and starts like sewing Tilly up across the midsection. Grinds up some herbs and stuff before he gets all the way done, and mixes it with a little bit of water and a little bit of this and that, and kind of heats it over, has all this run down and heat it over the hearth for a bit. Comes back and smears the like paste in the wound and like tightens up all the stitches. The whole process takes an hour or so, and at the end of it, Tilly is really, really drunk, but the wound looks very nicely taken care of. And you're all a little bit impressed with how well he's done with this. It probably won't even leave a scar.
Well done, Doctor.
I really appreciate this so much. You didn't know. I really do.
He nods and says, "She should get some sleep. The wound should be better in the next couple days."
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Let's go fight let's do it. Now.
Oh, Tilly. I pat him.
So, Tilly, for your adventures with this Brendan guy, I want to give you inspiration because you put it all on the line and you did some good role playing. So, well done there.
Damn.
Theobald, you're still scoring the inspiration from last time, which I was mistaken about. You can use it to gain advantage on any one roll that you'd like.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so whenever you want, you can be like, all right, I'm going to use my inspiration. I want advantage on this thing.
How much do you get, like a +1 or what?
No, it's advantage. It allows you to roll the 2d20 d1. So you roll 2d20s instead of 1, and then you get the the bonus.
Can I get that as well?
Yeah, you had that from last week.
For what?
I don't know. You did something really cool last week,
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
didn't you?
I don't remember. I killed a bunch of goblins.
Yeah, but you role played something and you got advantage for it. I thought
I don't know.
maybe not.
I don't remember. You
Maybe it
talking
was Shannon that got it. Someone got it last
Shannon.
week. Might have been Shannon.
So, guys out there in Twitch world, Neil's saying if you become a whore, you're going to be inspirational.
Yes.
You're going to be rewarded.
Inspired.
You're going to have the greatest rewards a DM can bestow.
That was a
So-
good roll there, Soma.
Well, I was just rolling it to ask. So it's I get the 2d20. What's the extra d1 at the end?
It means you drop the lowest of the 2 dice.
Got it.
Yeah, so that way when you roll 2d20 d1, you roll a 1 and a 2, and the result is 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will give you guys inspiration for any sort of role-playing that's inspired or any sort of action that somehow
Formulated.
takes you, like, brings you above and beyond. You know, if you're willing to, if you take a large risk to save someone else, that sort of thing, or you do something unusually awesome.
Like be a slut.
Straight up.
The being a slut in and of itself does not do it. He just was a slut really, really well.
Bondage slut.
Like he played it off. I guess slut's not the right term. Whore.
We never really got to the
Whore.
bell, though. I wanted to see what the plan with the bell was. Maybe next time.
Theo, you don't ever want to know what happens with the bell.
Oh God.
Well, thanks, man. I've never played with like an inspiration system or anything like that.
Yeah, it's new to 5th edition. We're gonna try it out.
Great. Now I'm gonna be acting out every fucking thing now. Like, look at me, Neil. Am I doing it? Am I
inspiring? Was that
Am I
inspiring to
inspiring
you?
anyone? Can you maybe? Oh, that's okay. Cool. Don't.
That shit was so inspiring.
It's worth noting that you can only have one inspiration at a time, and
Okay.
you can give it to another player if you think they've done something that is worth it, but then you give it up for yourself. So inspiration's nice to have on hand, but you can't get it a second time. So use it as you see fit.
Wait, he can't use it and then like four sessions later get it again?
No, yeah, you can get it again, but you can't get it twice. You can't have it and then get a second
You
inspiration.
can't like stack them.
Right.
Inspiration at the end of the, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, and he wasn't a slut. Let's
No.
just call it what it was. He took
Whore.
money like he was a whore.
Whore is
Right.
the appropriate
I
term.
prefer escort.
There you go.
But if you guys, I'm only a whore when I'm dead. All right. then I'm just a whore.
A gnome of the
Then I'm an
evening.
escort.
Little gnome of the evening. You are.
Yeah. and- I didn't even ask you, Neil, like how far, because it seemed like you were like, are we allowed to do this and stuff? Like, that's probably as far as it'll ever get, on
I
the stream.
hope
And this is
so.
something we didn't talk about before. How adult, because I run a pretty adult stream myself. But
I mean, I have an adult
I
content
don't
warning.
know
I'm
for
willing
I,
to
like-
go through adult material.
okay.
Let's put it this way. The shit that I talk about on my stream is so vile, disturbing, and disgusting that if you are a child, you're going to turn into a serial killer if you're watching it. So, what we're doing is fucking G-rated. We're good.
All right.
Okay, I know, no, I know. I just don't know if his broadcast is more family friendly or what.
No,
Is
not
penetration
really.
allowed?
People coming
Neil?
into the broadcast who are used to a family friendly Neil stream.
I mean, you've done Love
Maybe
Bites, Elo.
there's a-
You know how it
yeah,
gets.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I feel like in that context, though, it's
Yeah.
allowed. Whatever.
It's
Okay.
just it was very unexpected. Let me put it that way. I was caught off guard.
Okay.
Wasn't ready for the gnome on man sex or for it to get so detailed.
I got to be honest. I want to give my inspiration to Soma because it was his idea.
Done.
I
Just give it away.
You don't have to give it to me.
No, I don't have to give it to you. I'm choosing to.
Oh,
There you go. It was your idea, Soma. It's your idea, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Good ideas.
All right. So you guys are hanging around the golden life. Tilly's patched up and eventually falls asleep from excessive alcohol. Is there anything you guys want to do?
So it's is it evening again?
No, it's about mid-afternoon. Tilly's maybe not unconscious, but kind of like at that point where she's so drunk she's semi-conscious, and you can say something and she'll wake up and pass out again. Any plans? Any desires?
Well, why don't we all rest up and wait for Tilly, and then convene and find out what we're gonna
Cool.
do.
So you guys spend the rest of the day just resting and relaxing. Tilly, the next morning you gain 6 HP from the surgeon who's patched you up, and I think that's how we're going to deal with healing kits from now on. Is that you will get the healing kit, and the next morning you'll gain the HP from it.
Okay.
And it takes a little bit of time. So everyone chip in. What was it? Like 1 silver for the lodging for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys want to eat some food, chip in like 6 copper as well. Except for Tilly, you drank Everclear and you don't get any food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beer is food.
All right, I'm good to go.
Grain alcohol.
Liquor, yeah, grain alcohol.
Okay, so next morning rolls around, and you guys are all happy. Tilly, you got a bit of a hangover, but whatever. You're a halfling. I'm sorry, you're a gnome. You've had worse things before. What do you guys want? What do you guys want to do?
Just tell them, traveling with you guys is a little different than what I'm normally used to. Is it going to be like this every time, or are we just maybe perhaps?
I believe that might be a rare occasion where we have to use you like we did. I apologize, but it got the job done.
It gets easier the second time, Tilly. Don't you worry, honey.
It touched me. It touched me. Just throwing that out there.
Oh dear. I'm
You
sorry.
saw it.
Tilly, I'm sorry.
Unshaven.
Yucky.
Smelly.
Tilly. Oh, gross. Do you want to bathe?
But Albus, thank you for hitting him with your whip. That was really nice of you.
I give Tilly a hug.
I give Albus a hug. With my face like this the whole time.
And I pat both their heads.
Oh, friendship.
Oh.
Yay.
Yay, go team.
So I'm going to do the same thing at PAX South. We're just playing out what we want to do in real life. This isn't roleplay anymore.
Yeah, Elahim, with my erect cock.
I'll put this bell on the floor, so you let me know.
You walk into a hotel room and see that going on. That'll be very
anyways. I am in very much a follow mode right now. My character's healing. If you guys want to do something, I will follow. But my character has no plans other than to sit here and heal unless you guys have something that you would like to pursue.
I think we should just maybe try to just keep an eye on Knight Blackburn and see if he's still in town. We haven't talked about this new information that we have, which makes the alliance of these families really strong.
Right.
With Madras' daughter marrying Oakenshield's daughter, they're already buddies. So now they're officially tying the families together. Again, they don't like the king, the brother. So like this is East against West big time. We're sitting right in the middle of it here.
Do you think we should utilize this information and make it public? Or what do you think we should do, Theobald?
Well, I'm still very intrigued about what Blackburn is doing here.
Well, he's only stopping by. I mean, he's going
Silver
to
Spear is with the king, right? He's one of the East guys. Silver Spear is looking for something that this knight has. This knight's going to what appears to be the wedding of the two wealthy West families. So is there a shift in Blackburn's loyalties, and maybe he's bringing the amulet to Oakenshield? Wedding present? Maybe it's a powerful thing? Again, back to that amulet.
I think the amulet might be more at play than we think. I mean, it is a good lead. It's not a bad thought. The wedding is in Thema, yes?
Yes, farther east.
That
Further
is
west.
incredibly far away. It would take weeks to get there. Should we continue on ahead and try to get there before him, or should we stay close?
I say we stay close right now while Tilly heals. We're still waiting for Darude to hopefully catch up to us. The farther we get away from what City Shalat, the harder it's going to be for her to catch us. So,
Well, the way going on is quite dangerous. We have two towns that are now barely on the map. I mean, we have Yate South and Cyprus before we get to Ditchwater, and both of them have been ravaged.
yeah, and Ditchwater's a piece of shit. It's a
Aye.
Ditchwater.
Oh, I don't
Let's
know.
just scout around town, see if we can find where Night Blackburn's hanging out. Maybe chat with him again. Like, oh, hey, fancy bumping into you. Are you going to that wedding too? See what he tells us. We
Okay.
also don't know if the guy could be telling us bullshit. We haven't verified his information about this wedding. So
Maybe perhaps you can talk to our thief friend, which his name escapes me at the moment. And maybe
is that Marsh?
Marsh, I believe. I don't know. Maybe
Marsh,
you
yeah.
could start working on procuring invitations to said wedding.
Good idea, Tilly. Even in your drunken,
That is a good
painful
idea.
haze.
Not a bad idea.
I'm going back to healing now.
Okay, so you guys are going to.
So we gotta go back to Fire Breath Bar. That's where the guy who gave us the. Well, wait.
Dragon's Den is the really seedy, shitty place.
Yeah, that's where we got the job to go get the naked guy, which we did, right?
Dragon's Den is where you found the naked guy. The
That's
Fire
where we found
Breath is where you got the
We
job
got
to
the
find the
mission.
naked guy.
Yeah, so that's where we want to go back to, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's where the your thief buddy is.
Yes.
Till we leave Tilly here to heal.
Yeah.
Oh,
She can walk around.
I can walk
okay.
around.
Oh, okay.
I'll follow.
Should I carry her? Put her on my shoulders.
I'm his daughter. No, I'll walk. I'm good.
All right. So then, yeah, we head back to.
Yeah, let's go to Fire Breath.
Fire Breath.
How tall is your character, Scoots?
6'1".
Okay. So you guys head back to the Fire Breath. You find the same halfling hanging out in a corner. He is talking to two human women. And shortly after you guys enter, the ladies give him a slow nod and depart through the back door. Which could also just be a different door. It doesn't. I mean, it's the back door for you, but it could have been the front door for them. He sees you come in and gives you guys a bit of a smile and looks expectantly.
Hello again. How are you?
Ah, friends, it's good to see you.
I take it you got what you needed.
Yup.
Excellent.
Say, you aren't from Astari by any chance, are you?
I am.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been home. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm actually right off the Amber River in Astari.
Mm-hmm. All right, east side of town or west side of town? You can decide, whichever.
West.
Nice end of town, I see. Well,
It is. It is nice. I grew up rather well.
yeah. Anyway, what is it you guys are here for? I think our business is concluded.
Why would you ask me where I'm from?
I haven't been home in a while. Making small talk.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, you should make it back. I haven't been in Astari in 3 or 4 weeks now, but I do miss it. But I do like being away. I've never really left the shores of the Amber River. I've been to Edricton and Tira before, but and as a child, Amber Hall. But I have never been this far south. It's nice.
All right. What are you guys looking for? What do you?
Trying to just get a little bit more information about this wedding and maybe try to figure out if we can attend it and pay our respects.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know how you would secure an invitation. Those things are few and far between, and if you can't look and dress the part, you're definitely not getting in through the front door, regardless of whatever invitation you may have. But that stuff
Well,
is beyond my reach.
So
do you know?
who we would speak to, perhaps?
I mean, you could intercept a letter, an invitation that someone else has, or I guess if you could figure out what they look like, you might be able to forge one, but you'd need an original to copy.
Hmm.
I don't have the invite list, but anyone that would be going would have an invitation.
Mm, mm. All right. Are you going?
No, you think I'd ever hang out there? They would catch my ass so fast, make your
Not
head
yet.
spin.
Found a way to sneak in.